Okay, today what I'm going to show you is what is called insertion sort. Now insertion sort is a method of sorting the values and arranging them in ascending order or descending order. It's a pretty simple sorting technique. So today let me explain you this using Python. Okay, take a look at this example here. You have some values here. You can see that we are comparing the values, pairs actually, and then we are bringing them into one side, like either left or right. So here they are brought into the left side, right? The difference between bubble sort and insertion sort is that bubble sort does the swapping of pairs and it goes through several passes. Right, for example, if the right value is less than the left value, it will do a sort, and then again it will check the next two like that, and it goes through several passes. But in insertion sort it's not like that. When it actually goes through all the values in the list or the array, and if it finds a value which is on the right, and if that right value is less than the left value, it will start swapping that smaller value on the right until it reaches its correct position. For example, here 3 should be before 4. That's why 3 was swapped with 4. And now when you look at 2, 2 is less than 4, so the swapping happens here, and then it will check 2 against 3. 2 is less than the left value, so again there's another swap. So until it reaches its right position, 2 will be swapped throughout. So you can see that there are two loops here. One is the outer loop which goes through all the values, which can be a for loop, and then the inner loop which does the swapping until the value reaches its correct position. Okay, right, so that's the whole idea. So let's do the programming. Okay, so let me first start with an array. This is a list actually. I'll add these values: 3, 2, 10, 12, 1, 5 and 6. Okay, so I have got my array or the list. Let me print this first. Print. I'm going to print it with a concatenation with the text before sorting. So to concatenate we use comma, and A is the array. Okay, then I'm going to start the for loop for x. X is a variable in range 0. Why am I starting with 0? Because the first position in the array is 0. It's actually the index is 0, so this is the 0th position. So it goes as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, right, and from 0 to len a. Now len a is going to give you 7 because we have 7 elements: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So len a is going to be 8. But you know that for loop does not go up to the upper boundary, it goes only up to 7. Later on there will be a small problem I will show you with an error message. So that's the for loop. Then comes the inner loop, while. We are going to use a while loop. A x greater than a x plus 1. What does it mean? It means as long as the left value, ax means the left value, initially it will be 0, so a0 will be 4. As long as the left value is greater than the right value is x plus 1. So if x is 0, x plus 1 will be 1, which means this one, So as long as the left value is greater than the right value, you need to do the swapping, right? And there's one more criteria one more criteria to be checked, and there's one more criteria to be checked. That is, I'll explain this in a moment. X not equals to minus 1. Right, so what is this? The reason we put this one is that otherwise there will be an index error, because if you are to when you find the right value is less than the left value, you need to do the swapping, right? But the swapping has to be done only down to the 0th position. After the 0th position, you can't be going down further, because there's no values. So your swapping should end when the index is minus 1, which means it should go down up to index 0. So that's why we put this condition. So both conditions should be true, right? One is the left value must be greater than the right value, right? This is the condition. These are the two conditions to do a continuous swap, and the swap has to go through until the 0th position, which means when it is 0 it should do the swap, but when it is minus 1, when x is minus 1, it should stop. So as long as left value is greater than the right value and x not equals to minus 1, we do the swap. So how do you do the swap? You take a temporary variable, and I'm going to put the value of x into the temporary variable, and then I'm going to assign the value of x plus 1 into where the x value was, where the value of where the previous value was. So basically this is the left value. So left value you put it to a temporary variable, and the right value you put it to the left value. And after that you need to put the value in temp to the right value. Okay, so this is the swapping part, right? So what exactly happens is, this 4, which is the left value, will be put into a temporary variable, and then 3 will be put into where 4 was, and then the value in temporary variable will be put into where 3 was. That's what happens here, right? So remember, this single equal is assignment, so the right side will be assigned to the left side, and if it is double equal, it is a check, right? Okay. Now I told you, once you compare these two values, now you see that 2 is less than the right value, sorry, the left value, which means the left value is greater than the right value. So you need to swap these two and then continue swapping, right? Because 3 is also greater than 2, which means right now if x is 4, x plus 1 will be 2. I'm looking at the value, right? And the next time x should point to 3, value 3, which means I need to reduce the value of x, right? Actually here the index of x will be 1. This is 0, right? X plus 1 is 1. This is this is 2 actually. 0, 1, 2. X is pointing to the first position, x plus 1 is pointing to the second position. So in the next swap between these two, between 3 and 2, x should be 0, x plus 1 should be 1, which means I need to reduce, after every swap I need to reduce the value of x by 1. So after this and it was put x equals x minus 1. Well, that's it, but there will be a small error. I'll show you. Right now let's print after sorting. We print the list A. Okay, now let's run it, and you will notice that there's an index error, right? It's actually pointing to while loop, but the real error is in the for loop. You know, it's really easy to understand, because now you know, if we are comparing the last two values, it should be between this 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and 7. It should be between index 6 and 7, right? And what happens here? It goes from 0 to len A means 8. 8 means for loop goes only one less, that's 7. Right? That means x will be 7 at one point, and the maximum it will be 7. But what happens? Ax is 7, ax plus 1 will be 8, and there's no 8 index. Although there are 8 values, there's no index 8. Now you see, that's why we get this error, index out of range, right? But here it's pointing to the wrong place. Actually the error is right here. So what I do is I minus 1 here. So len A is 8. Now 8 minus 1 is 7. So this value is going to be 7. But you know, x goes from 0 to the upper boundary minus 1, which means if this is 7, it goes only up to 6. Now what happens? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, x value will be maximum 6. When it is 6, x plus 1 will be 7. That is this one. So it does not go out of the range. So that's the slight modification we have to do if we get this index error. Okay, alright, so let's run it again. There we go. Before sorting 4, 3, 2, 10, 12, 1, 5, 6, and after sorting we get it nice and easy. Okay, right, now if this sorting is ascending order. If I want to sort it in descending order, simply change this greater than sign to less than sign. Now what happens is, if the right value is greater than the left value, it will do the sort, which means the right value, which is the greater value, is going to come to the left corner, right? Take a look at this. There you go. Now it is sorted in descending order. So simply by changing this greater than sign, you can change between ascending order and descending order. Right, so let me comment. It's a good habit to comment the code so that you understand what you have done. You explain your own solution. Insertion sort, and this is before sort, and this one goes up to 6th. Actually it's x goes up to 6th position. That's why we put a minus 1. And this one swaps down to 0th position. Okay, right, and this part is the swapping, and this is to move the swapping to left. Okay, and this is after sorting. Right, so it's really easy. Let's run it again. F5. Okay, we get it. That's in descending order, and if you put it the other way you get ascending order. That's insertion sort. So I hope you understood, and if you like my video, don't forget to subscribe and put a like, as well as click on the notification icon, the bell icon, so that you get more videos in the future. Cheers, see you next time.